Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gradeup's Law Prep channel. So we are done with SLAT, the first slot, right? So I'm in this video. I'm going to discuss about the examination. How was the examination, right? And what will be the expected cutoffs? Like how was the paper? And we'll discuss probably a few memory-based questions, right? So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the session. Please do share this session with your friends who appeared in this examination, right, so that you get to know, and the ones who are going to appear for the examination, they will also come to know that what was the type of examination, right? So please share your number of attempts, how many questions you attempted in the examination, because it is important to understand that how did you find the paper, right, rather than how did we find the paper. Because in my opinion it was very much on lines with the last year, right? So like it was last year, right? Easy to moderate, right? So what do you say, right? How was the paper like? How did you find the examination? Did you face any technical glitch or something? Yes, you should have attempted all the questions. Did you face any technical glitch? That's the first thing. Tell me that did it happen? Okay, so none of you faced any technical glitch, right? All okay with the examination, right? So please tell the level of the examination. How was the examination, right? And how did you find it? Okay, easy to moderate. Okay, yeah. So so let's discuss that. How was the paper and how did you do in the examination? So we'll see that what was the level of the paper in today's paper, right? So let's begin the analysis, right? Okay, so someone is saying that GK was tough. Yes, I also found GK slightly different, right? Not the normal one. Okay, so what were the changes this year? That it was the second time that was conducted in a online home proctored mode, right? So one did not have to go to a center but take it at the home itself, and the number of questions was reduced to 60, right? Last year it was 75, and for the same thing the timing was also reduced, right? So timing earlier it was 105 minutes, this time it was 90 minutes. Okay, 60 minutes for your MCQs and 30 minutes for your VAT. Okay, all right, so let us see this. How was the paper today, right? So this was the distribution. I'm sure all of you know that 60 questions plus there was one VAT as well, and there was no sectional timing, right? So you could switch between the sections. However, yes, this VAT was entirely different, right? So VAT was altogether a different thing, but there was no sectional timing for the remaining paper, right? So that was the case, and this I believe was the difficulty level. So if you talk about logical reasoning, it was moderate because of a few analogy based questions that were not so easy. For example, they had asked analogy for velodrome, right? They had asked analogy for thespian. So these are the terms maybe some people might not be aware of, and apart from that it was all in all moderate, easy to moderate also, you can say, right? And like if you talk about analytical reasoning, it was quite easy. Legal reasoning was also easy to moderate. If you are a law aspirant, and you must have prepared for these things, and it was easily doable, right? Reading comprehension, again easy, moderate, not difficult. Two of the articles which we had covered in our Hindu analysis, right? So two of the articles were from Hindu, one was from Aeon, and both the articles were covered. I'll tell you the dates also on which day they were covered. You can go back and reflect. So it is important for you to attend those sessions as well. That's really helpful for you. Okay, and then general knowledge was slightly on the difficult side. So some non so popular things were asked, some questions with multiple statements, and you had to find out that which of the following facts are correct, right? So that was moderate to difficult, right? Not definitely not an easy one. Yeah, so VAT was moderate, right? We'll discuss the VAT topics as well. Okay, one was on women discrimination and another was on information and communication technology in Indian judicial process. Okay. All right, so these are some of the good attempts, right? However, like if you say the good attempts, there is no such limit on the attempts, right? Attempt should have been 60 because there was no negative marking, right? So no negative marking, that means that you should have attempted all 60 questions, right? However, section wise, I believe that these to be the good attempts. RCs must, someone must have at least done 10. There were a few questions on vocab, right, from each of the passages, and they were doable, quite doable. General knowledge, I would say 8 to 9 must be good. Instead of this, I would say these are good scores, right? Not attempts, but scores. Okay, so these I would say are good scores. Okay. Okay, then logical reasoning, there were questions on number series, calendar, blood relation, odd one out, coding, decoding, analogy, right? So analogy, I found that it was like some were peculiar, not so easy ones, right? However, other things were, I believe that all were doable, right? And blood relation also, I think the question was not correct. How many of you got that answer, right? Because that said son's sister-in-law, right? So if that is the person, that person's sister-in-law, they said husband, or it should have been given daughter's sister-in-law, right? So that was the thing, right? However, like if you talk about other things, right, so other things were quite much doable. Okay, now if we talk about the legal reasoning section, it was easy. So 7 questions were on principle and fact based questions, right? There were 3 situation based questions and 2 static questions. One was the order in which contract is processed, right? And another one was there was one on some other knowledge based question. Also there were 2 static questions. One was assertion reason, right? So there was a question on assertion reason as well, right? So one was an assertion reason, and others were like there was one question on like contract. Okay, so 3 questions from contract, 1 from constitution, 4 from torts, and 4 from IPC. So this was the structure. And the ones who attempted the section, so please let me know how did you find the section. I believe that it was easy. I'm not an expert of law, but I believe that it was like quite doable, right? It was easy to moderate itself, right? Okay, so let us see the next thing about the general knowledge section. The general knowledge section had current affairs, 8 questions, 7 to 8 questions from current affairs, 4 from static GK. Majority of the questions were from November 2020 in the current affairs section, right? So it was like it depends, right? If how did you if you prepare well, you could have done it, right? So there were some static questions as well, and there was a capital of Fiji was asked, right? It had mentioned Suva, so it should be, I mean the spelling should have been SUVA. Okay, all right. Now this was the reading comprehension, 3 passages, 4 questions each, right? The length of these passages, this first passage, medical treatment of pregnancy act, this was a short passage around 200 words. These were short, slightly longer passages, and these were discussed in Daily Hindu editorial analysis sessions by Alpa ma'am, right? So it was from 7th April and it was from 14th of April, so very recent articles, right? So this gives you a hint for the upcoming examinations as well. We saw last year in CLAT also that the questions were asked from Hindu, right? So many passages directly taken from Hindu itself. So please do attend those sessions, right? So please do attend those sessions at whenever you have those, right? So that will help you in this. And in fact, vocab questions were directly picked from that. So those vocabulary things were also discussed in those sessions, and you had those questions in the examination. So how nice of us, right? Had you attended those questions, you would have, I mean, two RCs must have been familiar to you. Okay, yeah. So now talking about the analytical reasoning section, right? So there were questions on missing number, age, number series, arrangement, coding, decoding, direction, speed and distance, odd one out, statement, conclusion, right? One or two questions were tricky. One was that coding of Samir and Praveen, right? The answer was 1260. That was a slightly difficult one, right? And apart from that, like I found that most of the section was easy, and there was a shooting of birds, right? So that meant that he shot only pigeons, no other bird apart from pigeons. Okay, so that was the that was in the analytical reasoning section, right? So I think that this section was also easy. I don't think any one of you must have found that difficult, right? So let us see this. Let us see this. The other section, that is the VAT section, right? How was the VAT section? And so VAT section, you had two topics and you had to write on one of the topics. First topic was use of information and communication technology in Indian judicial process. And the second topic was law has unfolded many shades of dignity for women. However, women continue to be within patriarchy, discrimination and violence. Right. So one on women discrimination and another on use of ICT in your Indian judicial process, right? So there was no word limit given. 30 minutes were given to type the answer. Okay, so that was about the VAT topics. Okay, so one had to pick one of the two topics. Okay. Now, I believe out of these cutoffs, right, I believe for SLS Pune it is going to be above 50, maybe 50, 51, may also go up to 52. So this is a rough estimate that SLS Pune cutoff is going to be around this number, 50 to 51. And for SLS Noida, probably 47 to 49 also it can go, depending on how it goes for the other paper, right? So now it depends on other slots as well, right? Maybe the other slots are difficult and scores are normalized, or the other way around, other slots are even more easier and scores will be normalized. But considering today's examination, we believe that SLS Pune cutoff will be somewhere around 50-51, right? And SLS Noida around this number. Okay, so if you are scoring above this, so you can feel comfortable, right? If you are definitely going above 52, then you can comfortably and yes, of course your VAT score will also be counted in that case, right? So if your VAT is good and you're considering that, so you will be called for the interview round. Okay, VAT does not have any cutoff. They do not give VAT marks. They just evaluate VAT. So they might be having some minimum score. They do not disclose that, right? However, I mean, these are the scores that you will get in the scorecard also, and they will discuss, I mean, they will release this in the scorecard and you will get to know the cutoffs, right? So please keep in mind that this could be the cutoffs. Okay, the most important thing you must be waiting for. The ones who have appeared in the examination will get to know this. Okay, and the ones who are going to appear, let's give you some gist of questions. We do have a session at 2 p.m. right? So please do watch that session in detail. By the time we'll draft all the memory based questions. Okay, so one question was, it was on books and authors. Who authored the book Waiting for a Visa? So it was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, which Sri Lankan cricketer recently announced his retirement? Thishara Perera. So something from current affairs. It was recently in May, 2 months back. Okay, which country has the capital named Suva? So it was given Suva, it should have been Suva, right? The capital name is Suva. Yes, so you must have got it, that because it said that it has official language as Hindi also, right? So most of you must have got this. Yes, so the answer is Fiji. So Arjun, how can you tell your score? How can you get the scores, right? You do not know the answers to all the questions, right? Okay. Alright, so there were a few more questions. Who translated Satyajit Ray's book Another Dozen Stories from Bengali to English? So Indrani Majumdar, she translated it, and this was again something from current affairs. Which country has released the world's first animal vaccine against novel coronavirus? Russia, I'm sure you must be aware of this fact, right? It was in news recently and all of you must have got this one correct. Okay, what is the current sequence with respect to a valid contract? Right, so that was something from your legal section, right? So a knowledge based thing, and I'm sure you must be knowing this. Okay, and now some more questions, right? So if I remember something, that was uh, Estonia, right? What is special about Estonia? So Estonia is like it has both female president and PM. Okay, so a question was asked about Estonia, and then there was largest trade partner of European Union, that was China. Okay, and dance, there was New Zealand. One answer was China, and another answer was on New Zealand dance form, that is Haka, right? So the New Zealand players perform their dance. Okay, and then yeah, these were some of the questions. And yes, there was one island renamed as Shahid Dweep, right? That was Neil Island. Okay, so these were some of the answers from the GK section. We'll be discussing in detail in a memory based section, in a memory based session. So please do watch that at 2 p.m. We'll be discussing all the answers in that. Okay, and then there was a question on this: if you rank 12th in the class of 57, what will be your rank from last? Very easy question. You know that number of students is first plus last rank minus 1, right? So 57 was given to you, right? So your front rank is 12, from last rank you should get 46. So the answer was 46 to this question. Okay, acha, that then analogy question in your reasoning section, right? And that was googly cricket, eagle is related to which sport? Eagle is related to golf, right? That was something. Okay, so there was one number series 2, 5, 16, 65, easy question, right? The answer was 326. It is into 2 plus 1 into 3 plus 1, cow, right? One of the answers was cow. I'm writing the answers, like the ones who must have attempted must have got this, right? And then there was answer ring boxing. The answer was velodrome is done. Velodrome is a place for cycling. Okay, and then we had one answer was drama, thespian. The answer is drama for this question. Okay, so cutoff VAT marks are not counted, right? VAT marks are not counted. So the cutoff is of this paper itself. So it will be around 50 plus for SLS Pune, and for Noida it is going to be somewhere around 47, 48. Okay, VAT you do not count the scores. They keep it internal and do not disclose it, right? Okay, so these were some of the answers, and there was some coding decoding questions also. There was a number series question that was very simple, like 52, 51, 53, 52. Okay, 54, 53. What was the answer to this question? Minus 1 plus 2, minus 1 plus 2, minus 1 plus 2. So the answer was 55. Yes. Yeah, so no, you should not cheat in an examination, because your video is being recorded, right? You may believe that the proctor did not mention anything to you, but later on they will view those videos, right? They will view those recordings, of course, right? And if you are found doing any malpractice, you would be terminated from the examination. So do not attempt to cheat in an examination, right? Do not think that the proctor did not say anything to you, right? No, US is not the so China has overtaken US. Recently, China has overtaken US as the largest trade partner for European Union. Okay. Okay. Then apart from that, there were some more questions. That one box question was asked, right? Some numbers were given, right? One was 26, 63, and another was 91. The answer should be 91 for that. How many of you attempted this? So it was addition of two numbers, right, and taking the difference. So you had to add these two numbers, add these two, and subtract this number, right? So that was the trick. Some people might have taken squares and done that way. They might have struggled to get the answer, right? So the answer was 91 of this question. And then there was one age based question, right? The answer was 15 years. Okay, where it said that 4 years, that one person is twice the age. Okay, and And then one was dark was 4. One answer was dark equal to 4. Okay. All right. And one was south. One direction facing was south. 4 people playing carom, right? So PQRS was sitting like this. Sorry, P was here, right? So it was asked that which direction is he facing, right? So this was one of the answers. Okay. And there were one was northwest, right? So these were some of the questions, right? And that speed time distance question was 20 kilometer per hour. Okay, the answer was 20 kilometer per hour. Okay, so these are some of the answers that I recalled from the paper, and we will have a memory based discussion session wherein we'll discuss these questions in detail. Yes, you can use rough papers for calculation, right? Yes, you can use rough sheets. I use rough sheets for solving the paper. You may use that, right? But I mean, they might ask you to show that. I mean, they did not ask in particular, but they might ask you to. The proctor might send you a message to show those sheets. Okay, there is no negative marking, right? There is no negative marking. Okay, so these are the top 4 colleges. These are the 4 colleges that they accept your SLAT score. So again, telling the cutoffs, those who joined just now, that SLS Pune, it is going to be around somewhere in the range 50-51, right? It might also go beyond that, right? SLS Noida might be somewhere around 47 to 48. This will be the expected cutoffs based on this paper. Okay. All right, so all the best to the aspirants who are going to appear on 11th and 12th of July, right? So we will be like, you can expect paper on the similar lines, right? And yes, just keep calm, right? Do your best in the examination, and you will be able to do well in the examination. Okay. So we will be doing the analysis of set B also today at 4:30 p.m. So the ones who, if anyone is appearing for the examination, will be discussing this in today's examination. Okay. So all the best to the aspirants who are going to attempt on 11th and 12th of July, right? And please don't forget to like this session. I hope you got a fair analysis of the examination. Again, just quickly telling that paper was easy to moderate, right? And what are the other highlights? That English passages from Hindu, 2 of the 3 passages from Hindu, 1 from Aeon. VAT was something like one was on information communication technology in Indian judicial process, 1 on women discrimination. Okay. GK moderate to difficult, right? Some current affairs as well as static questions. Okay, logical reasoning, analytical reasoning, easy sections. Again, your legal reasoning also easy to moderate ones. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for watching this session. We will have another session on your memory based discussion. So do watch that session. And in case you are appearing for, all of you or your friends are appearing for SET VBA, we'll have the analysis of this examination as well. Okay. All right, so thanks for watching this video. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.